Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to install JAF, the Nokia JAF unlocking box, unlocking flashing box, this device here. This is a genuine JAF, not a copy. I'm going to show you how to install it on Windows 7 64-bit because there doesn't seem to be many good documentation tutorials around for doing this. So I'm going to show you in as least a confusing way as possible how to do it. All the links for this video are in the YouTube video underneath the video, so you'll be able to find them there. The first thing we have is a file called JAF62, which we extract. It's jaf62.zip. Extract that to JAF62 using WinRAR. And there's also a file here called JAFX64, which is your 64-bit drivers for the JAF box. So you've now got a folder called JAF62. Double click it, and again you'll see a file here called JAF Setup 1.98.62. Right click that, go to Properties, Compatibility Mode, tick the box and ensure that Windows XP Service Pack 3 is selected, or maybe Service Pack 2 if you've got an older version of Windows 7 or Vista. And also tick the box Privilege Level, Run this program as an administrator. Tick that, Apply, OK. Do not install this JAF box. Do not plug the JAF box into the computer until you've followed the first step, which is to install this file here, which also installs the drivers. Do not plug the JAF box in first. OK, now you want to right click that JAF Setup 1.98.62, right click it, run as administrator, and the JAF Setup will launch. Agree, install to see program files x86 on 64-bit Windows 7 /odn/jaf install. It says something about my Nokia cable driver here. I'm not sure what this is, but I'll just click yes on that. So we're now installing JAF, which will take a minute. Computer sounds like it's working really hard. Okay. Now this Windows security alert will pop up. You want to click on Install this driver software anyway. And a few more of those will pop up, so just click on Install driver anyway because it's very safe. Also an error message may pop up. Ignore that. And that. Just ignore those error messages. Here we are again. Install this driver software anyway. And again. Take a bit of time, but it will. And again, it will install. Almost done. Oh, it's finished. Now click close. Now the next step is to go to Start, Computer, C, Program Files x86, Odeon, JAF. Right click the JAF icon, which looks like some toy blocks, as you can see here. Right click that, Properties. In a second the interface will come up and you can, let's try it again, right click, Properties. Come on, what are you doing? There we go, Compatibility, tick as before, run this program in compatibility mode for Windows XP, run as administrator, apply, OK. Go to JAF.com emulator, right click it, Properties, Compatibility, XP, Administrator, Apply, OK. I think it's best to do them all actually. JAF Logger, right click, Properties, Compatibility, XP, Administrator, Apply, OK. PKey Access, right click, Properties, Compatibility, XP, Administrator, Apply, OK. There's also another file in here which I can't find. Maybe it's in... Okay, close this window. Maybe it's in JAF62. Ah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. It's the JAF PKey emulator. PKey emulator means you don't have to have a physical PKey to use JAF. Right click the install. That's in your JAF62 folder which you've downloaded, which you extracted from the zip file. Properties. OGM JAF PKey emulator in v3 install.exe. Compatibility. XP. Administrator. Apply. OK. Now, right click this. Run as administrator. A foreign language, I'm not sure what language this is, excuse my ignorance, will pop up. Just keep pressing next. Keep pressing the bold button. And it's asking to install to C program files OGN JAF. No, you want to install to C program files space bracket x86 OGN JAF, which is you click on the 3-dot button here, you go to Computer, C program files x86 OGN JAF. OK, that's the correct path for installing here. Next, again, it's now installing the PKey emulator. Be done in a second. So then you press Quitter, which means quit. OK, close that. Now go back to Computer, C program files x86 OGN JAF. We now have another file installed called OGM JAF PKey emulator 3, which is the emulator obviously for PKey. Right click that, Properties, Compatibility, XP, Administrator, Apply, OK. Right, the next step is to install the drivers for 64-bit for the JAF box. So get your USB cable, and with the chamfered angled rounded corners at the top, plug it into the USB port on the back of the JAF box. Windows will now try and find drivers but not succeed. See, it's trying to search Windows Update. That's not going to happen because Windows doesn't know what this thing is. OK, just let it fail. Close. Start. Computer. Right click. Manage. Now go to... Where's Device Manager? There we are, Device Manager. You see this unknown device, JAF Flash interface. Highlight it, right click it, update device driver software, browse my computer for driver software, browse again. My folder, my JAF x64 is on the desktop, so I go to JAF x64, just highlight that, the root folder of that folder. OK, next. Install this driver software anyway. It's a very pretty little box with little lights, isn't it? Very attractive, like a little disco. Very, very bright LEDs. Anyway, so it's now installing the JAF Flasher interface from this folder here. I mean, you may have saved yours somewhere else, so just browse to where yours is. Okay, it's now installed the JAF flash interface. Close. Now I had, yeah, here we go, this USB serial port. What's this? It says here, yeah, USB serial port, no driver found. So I'll close that, right click USB serial port, update driver software, browse, same location as before. Mine is my desktop JAF X64. Next, install the driver software anyway. And that will be the final step, installing the drivers and allowing the machine to recognise it. There we go. So I now have JAF port on COM5. So I'll close Device Manager. I can now go to Computer, C, Program Files x86, ODN, JAF. Now what I do, I drag OGM JAF Peaky Emulator v3 to the taskbar for a shortcut. It now appears here. What you do, you click that, Peaky Emulator launches, my antivirus pops up and says this is a suspicious program. So I'll terminate it now. You may want to go to your antivirus. Mine is Avast. I go to right click, open Avast interface. You want to go, excuse me, you want to go to exclusions. Okay, so I go to settings, exclusions. Well, it should be in there because it's under there. It's I've given it all of program files to x86 as an exclusion, but anyway, I'll add another one. Browse, C, program files x86, Odeon, JAF, and select that. Okay, so I've told it to exclude that from its listing to scan. Now let's try again. Oh well, it's doing it again. So when it finishes scanning the file, I will tell it to allow it to run normally. In a second, this antivirus will stop. Okay, open in sandbox, no. Open normally, yes. Okay. So yeah, that should allow it to run. Try it again. Okay, this time it's run and no antivirus alerts have popped up. That's good. So now this file, which is the emulator, which in turn launches the JAF interface software, it's now been excluded from antivirus. You may want to look into how to do it on your particular antivirus suite, how to exclude software. Now you want to select Random Peaky Rascal SN and JAF main and press go. It's now starting the emulator. This Windows Firewall thing pops up. Press Allow Access. It's now my antivirus has popped up saying Odeon JAF.exe is suspicious. Well, it thinks it may be suspicious. So what I'm going to do, okay, it's now terminated itself because my antivirus thinks it's suspicious. Open normally, okay. Go away, out my face. Press go again. And now JAF is starting. And you'll see JAF version 1.98.62, it's found the Peaky, which is the emulator. Has it found JAF? Where's JAF? Well, there you go, box status ready. So let me close this and start again. Close that. Launch the emulator. Make sure that's selected. Random Peaky Rascal SN, JAF main, go. Okay. You can actually minimise this emulator. Yeah, I think it's found it. Well, the box it says it's ready, so I presume it's installed. There you go. There we go. Yes, sorry, I missed that one out completely. Must be going blind. Detected JAF interface version 01B1, driver version 40,000, library version 300130112. Okay, so it's working. Close the emulator after closing JAF. There's your firmware. This is my RH37. This is my Nokia 3220 firmware, which I want to install to be able to flash and upgrade, downgrade, repair my 3220s. But I'm sure you know how to install firmware. So that's it. Thanks very much. God bless you. Goodbye.